Hey guys, welcome back to the garage. Today I just wanted to cover a quick topic on exhaust system because I did want to show you guys how I went about getting mine installed and what it sounds like. In a previous episode, you guys probably saw me taking a Sawzall to the old system. Everything was welded in one piece to the exhaust manifold, so that was really the only way to get them out. And when I replaced the header or the exhaust manifold with this MSA 3.2 header, which I have wrapped here, I just went ahead and also picked up the MSA exhaust system that goes with that header for I think maybe $150, which is super reasonable to have it installed on the car. And I'm not going to go into too much detail into why I chose the MSA system over anything else that's available on the market. But for me, it really came down to three different factors. One, which was cost. At $150, that's super reasonable for a custom exhaust system. Two is quality. This is probably the most popular exhaust system that people put on these cars along with that header. And they seem to be really pretty well regarded, especially for its price. And three is the ease of installation. So the MSA's exhaust system comes with a Dynamax muffler, which I'm not an expert on mufflers, but they seem to be a pretty good quality. It comes with pre-bent tubes, 2 or 3 depending on which system that you choose, that all kind of slide in together, and use these U-clamps to hold them in place. And it comes with some hardware and new hangers, like right here, that use the existing hanging points on the car. So I think most people go about just installing it themselves, have no problem doing so. But I actually ended up having it professionally installed. And I did that for 2 very good reasons. One, I wanted to have the system welded together as to limit any exhaust leaks that we have in the pipes. And 2, probably the more important, I wanted to have these flanges installed. So the flanges, what they do is they help you uninstall portions of the exhaust system when you're working on the car. And I knew that I still had a lot of work to do, and I didn't want to go about trying to remove the entire exhaust system every time I had to do that. So those flanges, you can kind of just unbolt it in 2 different places, and it uses a gasket to hold it together, so that you can, again, kind of strategically remove portions of it for ease of uninstallation. The MSA system is, theoretically, you can undo these U-clamps and slide portions of the exhaust system out. But the reality is that when the exhaust system gets quote unquote worn in and gets corroded a little bit, those pipes become very, very hard to pull apart. So you really might as well just have them welded together and weld it back on when it comes time to reinstalling them. So I really wanted to have these flanges strategically placed within, or I have 3 of them installed at different points in the exhaust system, so that if let's say I just wanted to replace the muffler, I can go ahead and do that at this flange right here. If I wanted to work on the rear end, I can just undo it in 2 different points, one right after and right before. So that was really important to me. So since I don't have any welding equipment in the garage, and I didn't want to spend a whole bunch of my time doing that, I just went ahead and just picked an exhaust shop and had them professionally install it. And I don't think it's that important for you to be picky about what exhaust shop that you use. It does not have to be a specialty shop, especially if you're bringing the parts in yourself. It's a really pretty basic work. But the most important thing is that you talk to the mechanic that's going to be working on your car and to tell them exactly what you want. It's not enough for you to kind of bring the pieces and tell them, hey, I need a few flanges welded and I just want it installed. That's not enough. You have to tell them exactly where you want the flanges and exactly how you want it positioned, because that's the whole point. You want them to be placed in in sections of the exhaust system that allows you to uninstall it really easily, and they're as useful for you as possible. The total cost of the installation was around, I think, $450. It's not the cheapest quote that I got. I did visit a few different shops. It's not the cheapest, but I really like the mechanic, and I understand why it's a little bit more expensive than a usual installation, because putting the 3 flanges in place is really what makes this expensive. If you just kind of brought in the parts and told them, hey, I want it installed and I want everything welded together, I can't imagine it costing more than maybe $150 to $200. But those flanges require a bit of manual labor, and that's what's the most expensive. So I thought $450 was pretty reasonable. But I did have them throw in a couple of things that are extra, like installing this oxygen sensor bung right here. I don't know if you can see that. So I had it installed right there because I do want to install a air fuel gauge later on that's going to use that bung for a wideband oxygen sensor. And also I had them throw in a few extra gaskets. Of course, these aren't expensive, but they are kind of a pain in the neck to find if you're trying to reinstall the exhaust systems. So that's a nice to have. So I'm really pretty happy with it. So let's get in the car and show you guys what it sounds like. All right, let's start up the car.